Today we're going to cover how you can sell your rank and rent sites up front, right? Crazy, because I know a lot of people come into this industry and this space and they start putting out their rank and rent sites, and then they do this crazy thing where they wait for their sites to rank before they find a client. Beats me. I don't know why people do that, but that's just the way it's taught, and that's just what people do, right? So I'm gonna today teach you how you can sell your rank and rent sites up front, get a client for them before they're even built, which is really, really powerful, and it's gonna help you to scale a ton. So we're gonna go through that in a sec. We're gonna use a few different tactics here. I'm gonna show you, inbound prospecting, so you don't have to, do cold calling or anything like that. It's inbound prospecting so that we can pitch this idea up front. Now, before we jump in, I just want to say who this video is for, this live stream is for. Obviously, it's for people who are in the rank and rent space, but it's also for people in the Facebook ads and Google ads space, because this is a different way that you can position your offer. I'm going to go through it in a bit more detail so it'll kind of make sense as we go. But for now, who this is for rank and rent agencies, obviously, and also people in the Facebook ads and Google ads space, because anyone who generates leads, really, this is going to really benefit you because it's going to help you to differentiate yourself in the marketplace, especially for the Facebook ads guys. There's a lot of people pitching Facebook ads. You can stand out by pitching this model up front and then getting your ads in on the back end. It's a really smart model, so I'm going to dive into deeper detail on that. Anyway, if you guys are new here and you haven't seen me around, my name's Tom Wedding. I run this Scale Hacks group where we just give tons of value for rank and rent and just ads in general. All of the marketing stuff, really, but mainly around the rank and rent. I kind of give a ton of value to you rank and rent guys, just in terms of how you can scale faster, and that's really what the Scale Hacks group is about. So my name is Tom Wedding. Again, I run out this model myself, and I also teach people how to run out this model in their business. So really awesome stuff. I'm really excited for today. So let's dive straight in, I reckon. So first off, I just want to cover like the main pain points that you guys are having, right? In the rank and rent space, you jump in, you get your first sites going, they start to rank, you get excited, and then you have to do this bullshit cold prospecting. You pick up the phone call, you have to call people on the phone, or maybe you send out emails or messages on Facebook, and you're doing all this bullshit, right? So let's cover that first. So first, you've got your cold emails, right? Send out some emails to businesses in the area, and this is to get a prospect, potential client. You might do some cold calls. Don't mind my really badly drawn phone. But cold calls, cold emails. Maybe you do some Facebook messages, just sending messages on Facebook. What else? We got, maybe you use some scripts for your cold calls, for your, whatever. Or maybe you go to page 5 to 10 on Google and try and find people, right? That's a big one. Lots of people do that. So this is all cold prospecting, right? And really, what it is we're chasing, right? So our clients aren't coming to us. We have to go out and chase them and spend our own time, or find someone else to go out and spend their own time to go and find these potential clients, right? So this is what I call chasing. This is cold prospecting in a nutshell. And this is what most people in the rank and rent industry are doing, right? This is what most people are doing. They wait for their site to rank. So you got the waiting game over here. And the waiting game is you build out your rank and rent site, right? So you've got your rank and rent site, blah, blah, whatever. You've got your content on there, all the stuff you need to optimize it, right? And then you build this out, you're spending your time and your money to build this thing out. And this thing is gonna take, 3 to 4 months to rank. So you're wasting more dollars in the ranking process as well. So all of this, and then you haven't even got a client yet. So then you got to go out and find a client. And to find this client, you're using all these channels. You're wasting your time cold prospecting, you're sending emails, cold calls, whatever you do, right? There's a ton of different things people do. Maybe you got some VAs doing this stuff for you, right? But the point is, you're wasting a ton of time building this thing out, spending money on it to get it to rank, and you don't even know if you're going to get a client for it, right? It's just such a waste of time. And this is the old model, right? So this is the old model. This is what people have been doing for ages, man. And this is what's been working in the rank and rent industry. It's what's taught all around. You build the site out, you get it ranking, then you find a client. Now, I'm going to show you the new model where you can sell this up front, right? So let's dive into that. So this is what I call the scale model. Now, this is the scale model. So we start off with inbound instead of cold. So right off the bat, we're starting off with clients coming to us instead of the other way around, right? So let me just rub this bit out so I have some space. So yeah, you've got inbound. Now how we do that is we do it through Facebook ads. So we've got Facebook ads. So we've got simple little Facebook ads. Now these can be really simple, right? They don't have to be complicated. Because everyone's doing this in the rank and rent space, we can easily come into the ad space because there's no competition. No one's doing it, right? So these ads are super simple. It's pitching the idea of what rank and rent can bring for them, or even just saying, hey, look, I'm coming into the space. I'm going to be generating leads the next 2 to 3 months. Click for more information. Something, it doesn't have to be complicated, guys. This is really simple stuff. So the point of this ad is to create interest, right? We want to create interest with the prospect and get them really interested in the concept of rank and rent, right? So that's all the ads are doing. It's an inbound strategy. So we're not going out and chasing anyone. We put this ad up and then everyone who's interested comes to us, right? So it's an attraction model. And then from there, what we do is we go from interest into pre-qualifying. So now we pre-qualify these leads that come through, and then when they're ready to go, right? So we pre-qualify them, we ask them a couple questions like, hey, do you service this niche? Do you service this city? To make sure that they're ready to go in the right places. Then we've also got a video, and this one's huge, right? This is a video that basically explains the whole concept of rank and rent, right? It says, hey, look, this is how it works. We build out the site. It ranks in 2 to 3 months. Starts generating leads from Google. People are searching for it. It's highly targeted leads, blah, 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 right? Then you can show some testimonials in there. You can show, some past case studies, some other clients you've worked with. And that's a really powerful video, right? So that by the time this prospect is jumping on a sales call with you, my really bad phone again. By the time they're jumping on a sales call with you, they already know exactly how the model works in this video. They're jumping on the sales call, they're there to make a decision. That's all they're there for. They're there to make a decision on whether they want to work with you or not. It's not a decision of, oh, hey, I don't know how the model works. They know exactly how the model works from this video here. So they jump on the call and they're ready to go, right? They make a decision. Either they're in or they're out, move on to the next one, right? This is going to generate you a ton of leads. And then you basically just send them through this process. So only qualified leads are jumping on the phone with you, right? Only qualified leads are jumping on the phone. You're not wasting your time doing this bullshit cold calling, cold prospecting. You've got qualified leads on the phone ready to go, right? Ready to make a decision. And this method, this is called attracting. So instead of chasing, we're attracting, right? Very simple. And that's pretty much the process, right? So now, how does our rank and rent sites fit into this, right? So instead of building it out, waiting for it to rank, and then finding a client, because you can still do that with this, right? You can still build your site out, wait 2 to 3 months, and then run this and find a client, right? But instead of that, we're looking at selling up front, right? So how we sell up front, we have what I call the scale model. And basically how this works is on this call, we close an upfront deal. So they'll pay us dollars. And when they pay us, we build out the rank and rent site using this money that they've given us, right? So, whatever you got content, you got contact forms, whatever. And that's that, right? So you build out rank and rent site, but it's being funded by the client. And your next question is probably, okay, that's cool. We have a site funded by the client, but we still have to wait 2 to 3 months for it to rank before we can get to a retainer, right? Well, that's where you're wrong. Yes, you do have to wait for this site to rank, and yes, it's still going to take 2 to 3 months or even longer to rank. But while this thing's ranking, we can leverage paid advertising, right? And for you paid advertising guys, you'll understand this. Paid advertising isn't really hard, right? For local businesses, paid advertising isn't really hard. It's really straightforward. All you need is a bait and an offer, and you can attract people in. So we've got the two methods of ads. So we spend money on ads. Now keep in mind, this isn't our own money. This is money that the client's given us up front. So we put this money into ads here, which is Google ads or Facebook ads. Those are the two big ones. So Google ads, really killer, because people are already searching for the service. So you know it's highly intent when people are clicking on the ad, when people are calling the number, you know they're interested in buying that product or service, right? So Google ads are killer. Now the only downside to that is that they can tend to be pretty competitive in some niches. So that's when we move into the Facebook ad space. Now for the Facebook ad space, like I said, the main thing you're gonna need to get them to convert leads is an offer or a bait. Now these are really, really important to convert leads in Facebook ads. Now the cool thing about running it out this way is our client has paid us up front, plus we already have a client, right? So what we can do is we can just leverage the offers that our client is already using. So if they have Craigslist ads or they have coupons in the magazines, we can just leverage one of those offers, whether it's like a 20% off, $200 off, like whatever the offer is, right? We can leverage that, turn it into a Facebook ad, and then we're generating leads. Super simple, guys. It's really not complicated. The whole process of Facebook ads goes like this. You bait them with an offer, then you capture their details in exchange for that offer, and then you share their details with the client, right? Very, very simple. And basically what this allows us to do is when we run these ads out, we're generating leads for our client, and because in this sales call we've specified, hey, look, this site's not gonna rank for 2 to 3 months, but we're gonna run out ads in the meantime. As soon as leads start coming in, we're gonna get you on a retainer, whether that's $500 a month, $750 a month, whatever it is. And then once the site kicks in and starts generating a lot more leads, we're gonna up the retainer, right? That's something you specify with your client when they go into this, or in your onboarding process when you onboard them before you start building, right? This is something you specify them so they know that you're gonna run ads, and they know that they're gonna get to a retainer as soon as leads are coming in. So you have leads coming in through these ads, you get them on a retainer, or in other words, a monthly payment, whatever you guys want to call it. I call it a retainer. So they're paying you money for the retainer, and all you're doing is running these ads, these simple little ads. Now the thing with the ads, they have a shelf life, right? You have to keep replenishing them, coming up with new offers, and that's why Rank and Rent is such an attractive model, and that's why we have that on the back end, so that we don't have to come up with new ad offers for more than 2 to 3 months, right? We just have to have offers for 2 to 3 months, convert leads for 2 to 3 months, and that's that, right? Super simple. Now another really, really cool thing is when you share your lead data, if you can have your client respond to that lead within 15 minutes, your client or their sales team, however their process works, if you can have them respond to that lead within 15 minutes, there's more chance they're gonna close it, right? So if you can really specify that your client's gonna close more leads. And what happens when your client closes more leads? They pay more in your retainer, right? Very, very simple, but it's a really cool hack. So they're gonna pay a higher retainer. They're gonna pay you a higher retainer. And here's where it gets really, really funky. So you're generating them more leads because they're closing more leads. No, sorry, they're paying you more because they're closing more leads because you have that 15-minute boundary in place. You can track this in apps like there's LeadOwl or Contact Smarter, and you can track their response time, right? So you can track their response time, keep them like proactive about it. Hey, you're responding to this lead in 35 minutes. You need to get that down. We need to knuckle down that time, right? Because the more leads they close, the higher the retainer you can charge. And here's where it gets really funky. In that 2 to 3 months, you've been running ads, generating them leads. They're paying you a higher retainer already, but then your rank and rent site starts to kick in. Your GMB, your rank and rent site start to kick in. You start generating leads through the rank and rent as well and sending those off to your client. They're closing those leads in 15 minutes or less. Then you can up your retainer again. Because you've got leads coming in from ads, you've got leads coming in from your rank and rent side and your GMB, and you're just crushing it with them. And then the next step after all of this is to take over their whole marketing. Then you take over the whole marketing, right? Absolutely killer. So you've got them paying your retainer for the ads and the rank and rent site. Then you come in and you're like, hey, look, we also do social media management. Hey, we also do SEO. We also do blah, blah, blah. And this is where you upsell, and this is where you increase your retainer, or you increase your pricing that you're charging them, because you're making them a frick ton of money, right? Because you're sending them so many damn leads that they're gonna have to have a salesperson to close all this, right? They're gonna have to have a full-time salesperson on the phone replying to these leads in 15 minutes so that they can close as many as possible. And they might even have to increase their team, hire more people. You know, this is when you start to grow their business, because this is what marketing is all about, right?